Thanks for staying with us. Union Bank recently unveiled its EDU360 initiative as part of efforts to increase its support for the education sector in Nigeria. Today, we discuss the bank's efforts in this sector, and to shed more light on the EDU360 initiative itself, we have Head Strategic Brand Management at Union Bank, Ngozi Akinyele. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks
I just feel you look very familiar, and you don't have a familiar face. You have a very unique face. So,
thank you very
much.
But
tell us about this initiative. What informed the decision of Union Bank to put up EDU360 initiative, and what is it about?
So Union Bank turned 100 years last year. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So yes, we've been around for
ancient of days.
a century. For over a century now. Okay. And as we thought about the future for the bank and the country, we decided to make a bold move to get the private sector more involved in driving Nigeria's growth, particularly towards the SDGs. And our focus was then the most critical ones for Nigeria, which are poverty and quality education. Mm-hmm. And for us, it's not just like, it's not just a social drive, it's also a business drive. Because if you think about the fact that people get out of poverty, get educated, then they get economically empowered as well. And then they can open accounts. You know, so economic growth is actually tied to that social goal of driving the SDGs. And so we zeroed in on education, and that's why we're working.
This initiative, E360, exactly how is it supposed to be?
What is it?
So EDU360 is an initiative that basically is launching as an event, a flagship event that's going to be annual. Okay. It's 360 degrees because, like we say, there's something in it for everyone who is linked to education, for the parents, for teachers, for students, for investors in education as well, in even service providers. A few things, if I could go deep into the initiative, are, for example, for parents and even just for children, as we before the break, you were talking about self-esteem. So we, for example, topics for children are like building your self-esteem, raising entitled children for parents, for example. How do you stop that? How do you attack that? And then for investment opportunities for those who have education solutions as well. And there will be an exhibition of about over 70 exhibitors with different products, their schools. So talks, exhibitions, sessions, and fun and games, of course, for the children.
I've been to one of such exhibitions sometime in the past, and I'm really wondering, how did you guys come up with the criteria? Because it's definitely not all schools that are allowed to be in that exhibition. You must have partnered with some schools to come exhibit based on what you know that they can offer. So how did you select the schools that will be exhibiting?
So in our case, there was no criteria like that. So particularly because we see it as it's organized by Union Bank. So it's basically a platform for schools to come. So if you're a secondary school, or you have a primary school, or if you are like a niche provider who is like a collaborator or a group of schools, it's open to you. It's been up for over about 2 months now, and now we have a good mix of schools, service providers, different new and interesting solutions in education as well, exhibiting.
What exactly can people expect? You've mentioned some parts that you're expecting both parents, both children, and you're also expecting schools to come in. But what are they going to get when they come there? What is the outline of the event? What are we looking forward to achieving while we're there?
So for just going into like the theme, for example, the theme is investing in the future. And for us, we think about the future beyond, just going into a few schools and renovating them. A key part of the future of education is actually the teachers. And so a core part of the program is a 2-day teacher training, where there will be technical experts that would train the teachers. There would also be free educational resources for teachers. So visual learning aids, for example, books and resources that teachers can go home with. Of course, free.
Wow. Okay, so what are you doing for free for the kids? Especially, I like the robotics workshop, coding workshop. Is there anything for free?
Absolutely.
For the kids?
All of that is free.
So how did you shortlist the teachers that will be coming, or is it still open for registration?
Well, and then what's the registration criteria?
So for schools exhibiting, they are allowed to bring teachers, and for any walk-in teacher as well, you're also allowed to come in for the workshops. For the children, as you talked about, we're partnering with Google, Little Engineers, School Strong for the robotics workshop and animation, coding.
So how do they register?
I know that.
So you register on at Union Bank at www.unionbankng/edu360 to attend. Attendance is free, but of course you have to register to help us plan.
So where do you register? On the website?
On the website. Okay. On the website.
Yeah. What about the parents? You know, they are supposed to have like a seminar. Who are those going to be talking to them on raising well-balanced children?
Yes, so for example, we have, raising well-balanced children is just one of the topics, like I talked about. So one of the topics that I personally like is balancing talent and learning. So it's your child is star. You know, your child is big in music, you know, sports. Can you get them a scholarship, right? And do they have to drop out of school? So that's a big topic. No, we have Bikia Graham Douglas, who's an actor, talking about that, an athlete as well. We have Kemi Akindoju Fregene talking about building your child's esteem. We have Yeti Williams, Lagos Moms, Jadisola Dedeji, a few others. Folawe Omikule, Teach for Nigeria, Mudukwe Adefeso for TEP Center.
It's major.
It's really packed.
I wanted to ask, what other side attractions do you have? Are people going to, because I wanted to ask the venue, and are you doing anything to assist people to get to the venue?
Absolutely. So the venue is Harbour Point, Victoria, 4 Wilmont Road, Victoria Island, Lagos, particularly because I said we're focusing on the future, and teachers are that future, a key part of that future. We're providing free transportation for schools, for students in school, particularly those in education departments. So in University of Lagos, Yaba Tech, and College of Education at Akoka, there'll be buses.
There's one at Janiki too.
Yes, yes. We will keep thinking about how to expand.
What are you how many number of people that you're expecting?
What are you ready for? We're ready for 5,000 to 7,000 people across 2 days.
That's huge. So can you tell us where people can follow you on social media? Repeat your website so that people can get that detail in. For those that are watching and would like to register for this event, what do they need to do?
Please log on to www.unionbankng/edu360 to register. All of the details will be there. Please follow us as well. It's on our pages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
This is a very commendable CSR.
Well, thanks for coming. We had fun, and we will definitely attend this event. I'm sure there was something for us to learn there.
I definitely will with my kids.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all we can take on this segment.
Your view will be right back.